Okay guys, so episode 62, aka episode 3 of Attack on Titan season 4 is finally released. I'm pretty early on this one. It only released like an hour before recording this right now, so that's pretty cool. So let's get into a recap. This episode isn't too much. It's more mainly of a backstory. Not much of the story is progressing further, only a little bit of details. There is something a little bit interesting in this episode that I'll show, but yeah, let's get into it. So basically the entirety of this episode is a little bit of backstory on Reiner, Bertold, and Annie's experience becoming the warriors and then actually going to Paradise Island and, you know, doing what they gotta do. We actually see how they trained, you know, how what they did. We actually see the Titans, how they were chosen for it and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. Interestingly enough, Reiner was never supposed to get the armor Titan. He was never even supposed to get a Titan in general. He was never meant to, but he actually got one because basically Marcel sort of made sure that he got it so that his brother didn't get it. As we know, his brother is Galliard, Poco Galliard, who we know has the Jaw Titan now. So basically, Marcel wanted to make sure that his brother did not get the armor Titan because they didn't want him to go through that. And so that's actually pretty interesting that Reiner was never meant to even get it in the first place. Once they get to Paradise Island, we see how Marcel actually died. We saw that he gets eaten by Ymir in the Titan form. So we actually see the entirety of the conversation that went down and how it happened. So it's pretty interesting that we get to see this side of the story. And then after that, we actually see a few little bit of stories between Bertold and Reiner and Annie, how they went through the Paradise Islands. And then finally, we get to see their final attack on the walls. If you remember, back on episode 1, we see them transform and, you know, destroy the wall. It's pretty interesting to see from their side how they went through it and how little they were, too, when they did it. But yeah, we see the motivation that Reiner had when he was going in for it, that, you know, he wanted to be Marleyan because, you know, in Marley everybody hates Eldians, so he was convinced that being Eldians are bad. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just sort of a recap of what they did, how they went forth with it, but the interesting part comes near the end. We actually finally get to see Eren Yeager. Finally, you know, season 4. It's been a while, but basically he's sort of in disguise. He's hiding in this little hospital, pretending to be some patient that was in the war who, you know, got his memory lost and can't go home, when in reality he's not. He's just here, and he's actually talking to Falco, and he basically, I guess he likes Falco. He thinks Falco's a good guy, and he doesn't want Falco to become a warrior, to get the Titan power, to inherit it. And he's just sort of talking about Falco, about how war is bad, and you just have to keep moving forward to see what happens. And that's when he is revealed to be Eren Yeager. So I think that's pretty interesting. We get to see him. What he says doesn't really matter. It's just sort of his motivation why he's here, you know, to stop wars and to keep going on to see what happens. We get to see what happens next. We're going to finally see the Warhammer Titans family can tell everybody that they're going to fight Paradise Island. Yeah, so that's going to be the next episode. But yeah, guys, this episode wasn't too big of a deal. Just a little bit of backstory on Reiner and the other guys. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you all in the next video.